Smile, your face is now your ticket on some of Delta's international flights out of Atlanta. That means from baggage check-in through security and onto a Delta flight, many passengers will never take out an ID or look for a boarding pass.
This is going to be an entirely biometric concourse where customers through facial recognition will not need paper anymore.
How does it work? If you're flying internationally, you need a passport, which means your photo is in the U.S. Customs database. But instead of showing your passport when you check bags or go through security, as flyers have done for years, Delta's biometric system will already know you're scheduled for a specific flight. So when you stand in front of the camera, facial recognition software will quickly verify your identity, which means going through an airport should be easier and faster for travelers, who will no longer have to spend time looking for and showing their paperwork to ticket and security agents.
If you can save a little bit of time up front and get people into that queue faster, then hopefully this is making the airport screening process that much more efficient. People spend a little bit less time waiting. It's a little bit less stressful.
Other airlines are also testing facial recognition systems for boarding passengers. And the private firm Clear uses biometrics to identify travelers at many airports. So it may not be long before showing your ID and boarding pass will be a thing of the past.
I like being quicker. There's always the invasion of privacy sort of thing that you think about, but safe and quick.
We love it. Sign us up. We'll be first in line.
Adding biometric screening for domestic flights may take a little bit longer since travelers are not required to show a passport in order to buy a domestic ticket, so there's no immediate database. But make no mistake, they will get to work on that, and biometric screening, Becky, it is rapidly coming into how we will be boarding flights in the future.
I mean, I guess I can understand the desire for convenience with this. How much faster do you think boarding will get down the road?
It will improve because of this system. There's no doubt about that. The question becomes, you still have the issue of people bringing their bags on board and therefore taking time looking for the overhead compartment. They haven't found a solution for that yet.
Yeah. Well, we can always hope.
Yes.
Phil, thank you very much. So will biometrics be coming to your airport soon? Mike Boyd is president of Boyd Group International, which is an aviation consulting firm. And Mike, thanks for being here today. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
So what do you think? Is biometric identification a good thing for passengers?
Yeah, I think it is, because this isn't like China where they're putting in a system where Big Brother watches you. This is something, if you have a passport, that's natural, and they're using that to the highest degree to get people moving through airports.
All right, let's walk through some of these issues first. We heard in the package one gentleman raising the question about privacy concerns. You said this isn't China, but I just think back to this Marriott breach where they got all of our information. It wasn't protected well. I worry about the same thing happening with a system like this. Is that fair?
I think it's very fair, but I think the issue is, since the core of this is your passport, you know, if that's not safe, let's just not bother with anything. So I think overall, this isn't Big Brother, it's just processing faster.
You may have more faith in all of this than I do. Maybe I'm just a little too skeptical, but I think about all these breaches. I think about the incredibly sensitive information that has never been protected. And you're right, they already have to have our information from our passport, but it just seems like this is one more checkpoint, one more electronic verification. And I get you want to save people time, but come on, what are we talking about? A few seconds here or there?
For an airline, if they can save 10 minutes boarding an airplane, that's a big deal to them. So overall, I think it's one of those things where it's incremental. And let's remember this has nothing to do with security.
No.
This is just replacing a piece of paper with your face.
Delta's biometric program in Atlanta is voluntary right now, and that's a good thing. I don't mind voluntary programs, but do you think that this could become mandatory, one that it's the only way you can board?
That's entirely possible. I mean, as I understand it, the technology is no longer Buck Rogers stuff. It's here. I mean, Hertz is going to be doing it. It's being added all over. So it may be something that may be done all across. I have a problem with that if it isn't voluntary for the same reasons you just mentioned. We're not sure of the security of all the information.